Hi, I'm Jim Thomas. Welcome to Chicagoland's only outdoor show where you can be the winner. Today we're giving away hundreds of dollars in prizes, so stick around. Nice to have you with us. You know, it's truly amazing how a certain incident can play such a big part in bringing about change. For instance, there was a time, and not too many years ago either, when most saltwater anglers out pursuing their favorite sport would do almost anything to keep a shark from taking the bait. And if one did slam onto your line, the customary action that followed usually resulted in cutting the line. In short, folks, most big game fishermen, and that certainly includes yours truly, just flat did not want a thing to do with a shark. As far as we were concerned, the shark was a highly undesirable scavenger that no one wanted anything to do with. And we went to great lengths to avoid contact with it at all times. And then the highly successful movie Jaws 1 made its appearance. And almost overnight, everything with regard to the shark changed. All of a sudden, shark fishing charter boats appeared in areas where shark were found, and a whole new industry popped up. Well, you know the rest of the story, more or less. But thanks to our first question today, we're going to dig a little deeper into this exciting business of shark angling. And we'll get to both question and film answer right after this short break. Bill Linker of Chicago, Illinois sent in the following question, which reads, I'm sure you've done some shark fishing over the years. How about showing us something on shark fishing? It must really get your blood running. Well, Bill, I assume you mean by shark fishing must really get your blood running that the blood flows through the veins like in excitement, because there have been incidents where a fellow tangled with a shark in the water and it was a different story. Anyway, like I said before, I never did much shark fishing until I met up with Paul Dirk of Port Aransas, Texas. But we're getting ahead of the story.
For quite a few years now, Captain Paul Dirk of Port Aransas has devoted all of his summers to going out after shark. Paul is with us today, and I'm going to start off the proceedings by, number one, welcoming you to the program, Paul, and number two, to ask you what got you started in all this shark business in the first place. I know you used to run a charter boat for all kinds of fish, but now I'm correct in saying it's exclusively shark, right?
That's true, Jim. Well, I guess really just be able to catch a big fish. That's why I shark fish. If you can go out and catch a 20-pound fish by the end of the day, but you have to have a lot of luck and the right equipment to handle these big 8- and 10-foot fish.
Well, I noticed one thing, that in trying to make a reservation with you down there in May, June, July, and August, and on up and really up into September, it's kind of hard to find a space open. I never realized there were that many people who were so avid to go after shark.
Well, there sure are. I have customers to come, I guess, as far as Germany, from about every state in the United States, as well as Germany.
Going off on a shark trip, what really is about the first thing you do, which is pretty evidenced by the film we're seeing here, but perhaps you would explain it, Paul.
Well, we're just rigging a small shark. This is a full-grown shark. They only get about 2.5 foot long, and we use them for shark bait down there. It's probably the best shark bait that's, that you can possibly use for catching larger sharks. The hooks have to be secured in the bait. You'll see here we tie everything together to where the leads won't get tangled up in the cable. Drive nails into the hooks, secure them, get the hook sticking out of the bait properly to where if the fish does pick it up, you don't want to miss him. You want to catch the fish.
You know, I know a lot of guys that'd be content just to catch a fish that big that you're using for bait.
Yeah, well, the one time myself was included in that, of course.
Now, does the type of bait you use vary, I mean, as to the species of shark or the type of shark you're going after? Or will, for instance, would a tiger shark hit this as well as a hammerhead? Or is there a different type of bait that you use for a different type of shark?
No, Jim, there really isn't. These little sharks like this, I've caught anything. Well, we have 38 different species of shark in the Gulf. And we have 4 major sharks. the big sharks, like the 8 to 12 foot, 13 foot long, and I've caught every one of them of that different species on this same little bait right here. You need to sharpen your hooks real well. This hook has to be very secure in that bait. When a shark hits the bait, he doesn't just come in and swallow it. He hits it and attacks the bait and tears it to shreds. You have to have them nails in there, the hook's nice and sharp. Otherwise, as tough as that old shark is, he's going to steal your bait and get away.
In other words, it's reasonable to assume then that a shark that would go after that bait in attacking the bait, as you say, wouldn't just go and nibble on the tail. He just opens up his mouth and grabs the whole thing?
It grabs and attacks and shakes. I've cranked these baits in many times. Of course, you don't always catch the shark, but I've cranked these baits in after we've had a shark on them. And it's just hard to believe what a shark can do to a bait like that, even with the nails and everything in it. It'll come in 4 or 5 foot long and just shred it like it went through a shredding machine. The largest bull I've ever seen myself was about 490 pounds. The largest one, and it was 9 foot 3 inches, I believe. But I have seen them 9 foot 6 inches. That's the longest I've ever seen any bull shark.
Now, this fellow has a bull on?
He has a bull shark on. It's about right at 8 foot, which is just about an average bull shark.
How long does it normally take? Again, I want to ask you what is the pound test line that this chap is using right here?
He's using 130-pound test Dacron right now, and he's on an international 130, which that kind of overpowers an 8-foot fish. He's got the advantage, and he'll land this fish probably within an hour.
Take about an hour of struggling with that.
Oh yes, that fish will take line for a while. We have a rule on the boat that either the fish is taking line or our fisherman's taking line. There's no airport. We aren't in a holding pattern.
There's no standoff?
No holding at all.
Which reminds me, do you let them run for any length of time before setting the hook, like a lot of people do in marlin or billfish?
We used to, Jim, but I found out if you put the hook in the bait right and put it in the right position, when that fish has it in his mouth, chances are you're going to have a hook in his mouth, so you need to get on him before he drops it.
Now, you've got a fairly tight drag set. They're certainly far from free-spooled when they're sitting there waiting for a strike.
True. We try to keep them tight enough to where if a hammer would happen to hit it and burn the reel up, it wouldn't backlash the reel and jerk it off the boat.
You use normally, what, a flying gaff on these?
Yes, this is a flying gaff. Just get the fish hooked towards the head. Then we'll get a winch around him, get a rope around his neck, and get the winch going.
What's the best day of shark fishing that you've ever had, Paul, that you can recall?
Well, I was fishing off Port Aransas with another captain. I have a kid named Brian Gawley, and we caught 10 fish over 8 foot, including an 11-footer and a 10.5-footer, all in one night. And I don't believe we'll ever be able to do that again. I don't believe anyone else has ever did that.
Is it true or is it not true that if you're in a given area and you hook one bull or one tiger or one hammerhead, that there would be others in the area? In other words, could you consider them a school fish where if you catch one in a place, you could sort of troll back over the same area and maybe get something else? Do you usually relocate?
Well, at one time we thought that, but I've been out there so many times when we catch an 8 or 9 foot bull shark like this and maybe a 12 or 13 foot hammer or tiger right in the same pack. So really once you think you have it figured out, we decide we really don't know that much about them.
You were mentioning earlier, Paul, that you consider the Gulf one of the finest shark fishing areas in the world. To what do you attribute that opinion?
Well, I know a lot of other boat captains that fish all over the world, I guess, all up the East Coast and West Coast. They catch a lot, like a big old white shark or something that might weigh a ton or two. But everyday fishing like we have out in the Gulf of Mexico, there's no other place to equal it. It's some of the greatest shark fishing in the world.
Well, there you have it, Bill. Just a small example of what a lot of us missed by not recognizing the true value of the shark as a game fish. Thanks a lot for the question. Now let's take a look at your prize. A Daiwa spinning combo consisting of a famous Daiwa Regal spinning reel, which features autocast, one ball bearing, and the patented gyro spin system, along with a 2-piece Triforce X graphite spinning rod, strong, lightweight, and powerful, with sensitivity to feel the lightest strikes. Daiwa, committed to total quality. And in about 2 minutes, we'll be back with you. Our next question comes from Ray Kessler of Richland, Indiana, who simply asks, I love bird hunting, particularly pheasant. I started out years ago here in Illinois next to my father with an air gun and enthusiasm to spare. Permission to hunt came easily, and birds were everywhere. How about a film on this? Well, Ray, times, as you know, have changed somewhat. However, there are still lots of birds in Illinois, and I dare say there are still some folks who, if approached correctly, might give you permission to hunt. But no matter where you hunt them, upland game bird shooting is the greatest.
There's nothing quite like being outdoors to enjoy all of this, too, especially here in South Georgia, astride a good mount, and hopefully scanning the cover ahead of you as a couple of purebred pointers exhibit their ability. Yes, it sure is stimulating watching a good bird dog strut his stuff with head held high and every muscle tense. Ah, it's being part of all this. It really makes life worth living, isn't it? Attaboy, Tom. Look at him go, will you? That's right. A little more over this way, boy. It's a matter of opinion, but most experts agree that improved cylinder 12-gauge guns with number 8 or 9 shot is just about tops for this kind of shooting. Of course, you have a better than 50-50 chance of nailing your limit when you're hunting over a couple of champs like these. Uh-oh. There's what we're after. A feeding covey sneaks across an open spot. These are wary little fellas, but with any kind of luck, those canine companions ought to lock 'em in tight any minute now. Uh-oh, easy, boy. Whoop, whoop, boy. Steady now. Steady, old boy. Let's back up your partner. And there they are, all tied up, and look at that style. Whoa, pony. Well, you don't really have to hurry when you have a couple of good bird dogs working for you. But even that thought doesn't keep your heart from pounding through your rib cage. Slowly, our experts ease in behind their dogs. This is the time when all thoughts are forgotten except that you are about to experience during the next few seconds. Steady, Tom. Okay. Now go fetch him. Find him. Good bird dog. Fetch him. Now there's bird number 1 recovered. That's one of the good things about hunting with a well-trained sporting dog. Lots of birds are recovered that may never have been found. Fetch him, bud. Fetch him. That's right. Bring him here to me. Bring him here. Hey, good work, old friend. Fine work. We're proud of you. Of course, no upland game bird hunt would be complete without taking a crack at the gaudy old import himself, Mr. Ring-necked Pheasant. And today we're going to try for a limit of these beautifully colored speedsters with the help of a young German short-haired pointer. Go ahead, boy. Hunt him up. He's a big dog with a long, swinging gallop that covers a lot of distance. It's really a sight to watch him ranging back and forth across the fields in search of pheasant scent. By the way, these fellows are using modified and improved cylinder bore guns, this time with number 7.5 regular loads. Uh-oh, look like Dutch connected. And brother, he's really got that sly old cockbird locked in tight as a drum. And now comes the time of testing for both dog and gunner. Nervous fingers move toward the safety of each gun, but it'll not be snapped off until the actual flush. Easy does it, fella. This old rooster, well, he's pretty hard to keep pinned down for any length of time. There goes the flush, safety off and a clean kill. After him, boy. Fetch him. And now just take a gander at how this youngster goes about finding that bird, too. Fetch, boy, fetch. Sit, sit. That's a boy. Good show. Yes or no, chewed up, torn up birds with this fella. He doesn't even wet a feather. And there's nothing more beautiful than a ring-necked cockbird in plumage. And to my way of thinking, nothing better for the oven. Well, we can't go home with just one bird. Come on, boy, let's see if we can ferret out another. Now, where the heck did that pup go anyway? Oh, there he is, trailing down a corn row. He's really burdened, too. Look at that stubby tail move, would you? Careful, boy. Careful. And here's the fella everybody's looking for, old Mr. Ringneck himself. Just taking his time, keeping a jump or two ahead of his pursuers. He's no fool. Got a pretty good idea what's going on, all right. Somebody's after his tail feathers, and he knows it, too. Easy, boy. You're getting close. Notice how easy he works that bird. That's a characteristic of the breed. He trails out of the cornfield into a wheat field, and our Nimrods follow, guns ready. There he is. No, that sly old rascal has moved out again. Ah, but this is it. He's got him dead to rights now. Cautiously, the anxious hunters move in for the flush. This is a never-to-be-forgotten moment, and you'll only get one chance. And that's all she wrote. Nice shooting, and without a moment's hesitation, a well-trained bird dog on command completes the job by retrieving. A pheasant can run off with more shot than you could possibly imagine, and in most cases, without a dog along, a hunter will lose half or more of what he manages to down. Ah, but this is one bird that didn't get away, and that's what I call real teamwork. Good pointing and retrieving and good shooting. Nice going, fellas.
I'm sure you didn't mind a bit of quail hunting. I hope our film answer sort of helped you along to recall a few memories, Ray, and perhaps it'll also remind you that you can still pursue your favorite sport here in Illinois. It just might require a bit more patience on your part. Thank you very much for the question, and we hope you'll enjoy your prize. Daiwa's new Black Widow bait casting reel with your choice of right or left-handed retrieve, offering exceptional performance matched with one of Daiwa's Tri-Force number 561 series bait casting rods with many exciting features like a new reel seat design for superior sensitivity and comfort. Daiwa, committed to total quality. And we'll be back in about 2 minutes. Well, we have time here for a couple of Jim's closing notes. Here's one that looks like it's from a youngster, Luke R. Thompson of Plano, Illinois. Well, he comes right to the point. He says, how do you catch a big catfish? Well, I could, with tongue-in-cheek, say, Luke, very carefully, but the fact of the matter is there are many, many ways that people go after catfish. Some use a trot line, put it out at night and bait it up with some shiners or minnows, leave it there for a number of hours, and just before dawn, go out and check it. Usually, if you're in an area where there are catfish, that's usually in a creek or a river, you'll catch some. Other people, of course, use the old rod and reel and live bait and just still fish for them. You know what that means, throwing the line over in the water and just letting it stay there until something happens. That's the best advice I can give you, or better still, you might get your dad or some adult to take you out for your first or second time of fishing, and maybe they can give you some pointers. There's nothing like experience that can fill you in on taking the fish of your choice, particularly catfish, and that's everybody's fish. Here's an unusual note from a Mrs. Diane Brennan of Downers Grove, Illinois, and I'm still not sure. We've read this letter over quite a bit, and I'm still not certain of the meaning, but I'm going to assume it's with tongue-in-cheek. She says, I enjoy the show. My husband has tried to get me to go fishing with him for a couple of years, and I'd like your opinion if this will work, or would it be equivalent to wallpapering a room with him? I'm not really certain. She said, I'd like to see a film on this if possible. Well, obviously, we wouldn't have anything on that. I assume you mean it would be boring to go fishing with your husband, and I can assure you, Diane, that you would not be bored. It's a great sport, and there are almost as many women involved in it nowadays as there are men. They love the sport, and sometimes they can outfish their husbands. They usually do. When a wife goes out for the first time, 9 times out of 10, she comes back with the biggest fish. And that's a fact, and I think some of you ladies out there who have experienced this self-same thing will go along with me on that one. Anyway, go on out with your husband. Give it a chance. I think you're going to really love it. And by the way, both of you folks, thank you for your letters. We're going to send you this little plastic lure box just on the chance that, Diane, you decide to go out fishing with your husband. You'll have something to take the lures with you. Well, that's it for now. We hope you enjoyed the program as much as we did bringing it to you. Remember, enjoy our great outdoors, but please don't leave your good manners at home. Until next time, Jim Thomas saying so long and the very best of luck to you all.